we're going to talk about the geometry shapes and finding area. So we have multiple shapes here. This should be a review lesson. Remember, a rectangle is a closed four-sided figure with two sets of parallel sides, parallel and congruent sides, and four right angles. So when we look, formula for area of rectangle is A equals BH. Now notice this is a small b, so A is for area, this is going to be base, this is going to be height. So when we look at these two pictures, right, four right angles, parallel sides opposite that are congruent. So your base and your height, whether it's height and base here, the base and the height are always going to be connected by a right angle. And whenever we find area, it's going to be units to the second power, or units squared. A square is like a rectangle. It has four equal sides, two sets of parallel and congruent sides, and four right angles. So the only difference between a square and a rectangle is that those sides are congruent. So same formula. A is for area, little b is for base, h is for height. So we can put lines like this. These are our four equal sides. Doesn't matter how big it is. We could give it some numbers if we want. We could say a side here is 3. So we would say A equals 3 times 3, right? You have your base, you have your height, still connected by your right angle. Here you could say, what if these were 9? You would say 9 times 9, 81 units squared. This would have been 9 units squared. So your units are still going to be squared. Parallelogram, this is kind of like a slanted rectangle. I cannot spell all of them. There we go. So very similar. Same formula. Area equals base times height. Now notice here, here's my right angle. So this is my height. This is my base. There's also a right angle here. You can also have this be your base. These are going to be congruent sides. These are going to be congruent. So you still have two sets of parallel and congruent sides. But again, your height is going to be connected to the base by that right angle. That's what you need to be looking for. Okay. Here, base, height. This could also be your base. It's not going to be those slanted pieces. Okay. And it's still going to be units squared. Triangle is going to be a rectangle cut in half. And this formula is going to be for any type of triangle, acute, obtuse, right? And since it is a rectangle cut in half, this is our rectangle formula, and we're going to multiply or divide by 2. So we have area, we can say divided by 2, or times 0.5 of our base and our height. Okay? So again, we have multiple types of triangles here. You're looking for this right angle. Here's my height. Here's my base. Here's my height. Here's my base. We're always looking for that right angle. So this would be my base. But here, even though it's on the outside, that is my height. Because when you go to the doctor, you measure yourself, how tall you are always standing perpendicular to the wall and the floor. Okay, you don't want to be leaning because that won't give you a true height. A trapezoid is going to be a closed four-sided figure, but this one only has one set of parallel sides, and those are going to be called our bases. Okay, so this one is a little bit different. We still have area. We still have 1/2, right? So we can divide by 2 or times 0.5. So this is base 1 plus base 2. Again, those are going to be our parallel sides and then our height. So when we look at this, we have a right angle here. Okay, so these are parallel. So this is base 1, base 2. You can flip-flop those. Here's your height. We're not using this side. If we were asking about perimeter, yes, we would use all 4 sides. But for the height, it's always connected at the right angle. Here is my right angle. You know there's another right angle here. Here's my height. We can call this base 1 and this base 2. These are parallel sideways now. It's drawn a different way. So this is my height. And if it helps, you can always turn the page. And again, we're looking for those right angles. Okay, so hopefully this was a nice review of those formulas. You also have your formula chart that you put in your journal, and we'll do some practice with this in class.